Hey everyone, so let's settle this debate once and for all. You've probably heard it a million times. Baked chicken is healthier than fried chicken. But is it really? Or is this just another one of those things we accept as fact, without actually looking at the science? Because here's the thing, I went down a rabbit hole of medical journals and nutrition studies, and what I found is actually pretty interesting. Look, I'm not here to tell you to never eat fried chicken again. I'm in my 30s, I enjoy good food, and I'm not about that restriction life. But I do think we should know what we're actually putting in our bodies, right? So let's break this down with actual data. First, the obvious stuff. When we're talking about calories, fried chicken absolutely comes in heavier. A study published in the Journal of Food Science found that a 100-gram serving of fried chicken breast contains roughly 240 to 280 calories, depending on the batter and frying method. Meanwhile, the same amount of baked chicken, we're looking at about 165 calories. That's a difference of around 75 to 115 calories per serving. Now multiply that by however many pieces you're eating, and yeah, it adds up fast. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just about the calories. The type of fat matters way more than most people realize. Fried chicken absorbs oil during cooking, and depending on what oil is used, you could be loading up on saturated and trans fats. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked over 100,000 women for more than 25 years and found that those who ate fried food regularly, especially fried chicken, had a 13% higher risk of cardiovascular disease mortality. That's significant. Baked chicken, on the other hand, can be made with minimal added fat. You can use a light spray of oil or none at all, which means you're primarily getting the natural fats from the chicken itself. And when you remove the skin, you're cutting out even more saturated fat. The numbers don't lie here. A skinless baked chicken breast has about 3 grams of fat per 100 grams, while fried chicken can pack in 12 to 15 grams or more. Now let me talk about something most people don't know about. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are compounds that form when proteins or fats combine with sugars at high temperatures. Deep frying creates a ton of these. Research from Mount Sinai School of Medicine showed that high levels of AGEs in the body are linked to inflammation, oxidative stress, and an increased risk of diabetes and kidney disease. Baking, especially at moderate temperatures, produces significantly fewer AGEs. We're talking about a reduction of up to 50% compared to frying. And then there's acrylamide. This is a chemical that forms in foods cooked at high temperatures, particularly in the presence of certain amino acids and sugars. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies it as a probable human carcinogen. While acrylamide is more commonly associated with fried potatoes, it can also form in breaded fried chicken. Baking at controlled temperatures below 180 degrees Celsius drastically reduces acrylamide formation. If you found this helpful so far, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm show this video to more people who might benefit from it. Alright, so let's talk about nutrients. Because it's not all doom and gloom for fried chicken. Here's the reality. Both methods can preserve protein content pretty well. Chicken is an excellent source of protein, with about 31 grams per 100 grams of breast meat, and that stays relatively intact whether you bake or fry it. But when it comes to vitamins, particularly B, vitamins like niacin and B6, baking has the edge. High heat and prolonged frying can degrade some of these nutrients. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that baking at moderate temperatures preserved more vitamin content compared to deep frying. Now here's something practical nobody really talks about. The oil you use for frying matters tremendously. If you're reusing oil, which a lot of restaurants and even home cooks do, you're introducing oxidized fats into your food. Research shows that repeatedly heated oil develops harmful compounds, including trans fats and free radicals. These have been linked to increased inflammation and elevated cholesterol levels. A study from Spain found that people who consumed food fried in reused oil had significantly higher markers of inflammation compared to those who ate food prepared in fresh oil or baked. So what does this all mean in the real world? A large-scale study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 106,000 women, aged 50 to 79 for about 18 years. The results? Women who ate fried food every day had an 8% higher risk of death from any cause, compared to those who didn't eat fried food. And when looking specifically at fried chicken, eating it regularly was associated with a 13% higher risk of death. Baked chicken showed no such association. But let's be honest here, we're not robots. Food is more than just fuel, it's culture, it's comfort, it's joy. I'm not saying you should never eat fried chicken. What I'm saying is that if you're eating it multiple times a week, you might want to reconsider. The science is pretty clear that making baked chicken your go-to and saving fried chicken for occasional treats is probably the smarter move for long-term health. And here's a pro tip. If you want that crispy texture without the deep frying, try air frying or oven baking with a light coating of breadcrumbs and a spritz of oil. You can get close to that fried chicken experience with a fraction of the fat and none of those harmful compounds from high-temperature oil. So bottom line, baked chicken is healthier, not by a little, but by a lot. Lower calories, less saturated fat, fewer harmful compounds, better nutrient retention, and significantly lower health risks based on long-term studies. Does that mean fried chicken is evil? No. But understanding the trade-offs means you can make informed choices. If you found this breakdown useful, please subscribe to the channel. I dive into these kinds of food science topics regularly, always backed by actual research, because I think we deserve to know the truth about what we're eating. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.